enter the market buying or selling, or stay out of the market altogether and wait for a better opportunity, which sometimes is the best thing to do depending on certain price action and market circumstances. But for those of you who are new to MTI, welcome to the program. Thank you for investing in yourself. For those of you who know me, you know me. If you don't know me, allow me the honor of introducing myself. My name is Jose Tormos. I'm known here to MTI and our clients as FX MVP, and I'll be host for today's web presentation. So what I want to do here is just share with you a little bit about my story, my journey. Again, I was just a kid with big dreams, ended up getting hurt, so I couldn't fulfill my athletic role to achieve my dream of playing professional sports, but I ended up here finding a way to make a healthy income, a very healthy income that I didn't think I'd be able to make doing anything else, especially as quickly when I found MTI and I learned how to trade. So since then, my story's continued. I trade part-time. I live my life full-time. And what I'm here to do today is share with you the same methods I use to shatter goals in the market, to quickly grow confidence in the number of profitable trading strategies, and then coach you to extraordinary performances, because everything I know about trading the market, I've learned from MTI. I'm an ultimate trader, and I believe the best way to predict the future is simple, to create it. But enough about me for right now. As we get started, I want to talk a little bit about you, and I want to know why you're here and what's going to be the main purpose of the outcome of this webinar for you and your trading development. So I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. If you'd write the answers down onto the questions box, that'd be fantastic. Or on a piece of paper, it's up to you if you want to keep the answers as well. This is very important because what I find out is that when people do this, they retain upwards of 90–95% of the information we talk about. Later on, they post testimonials about how their lives have changed. So the first question of the day is, what's your number one reason for being here with me this morning? Go ahead and jot the answer down right now. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Question number two would be, why is this important to you? What is the core reason deep down that you want to do this, to be a professional trader? I know we all want to make more money, but why do you want to make more money? And question number three is, how will this help you and your family? Financial stability, says Brian. Financial security, says Lennox. Financial freedom, says Dio. Supplement my retirement, says Ola. To learn how to trade with confidence, says Stanley. Retirement, says Greg. A better life, says Alan. To make more for my family, says Kishore. Okay, we've got financially free, says Glennis. Morning, Jane. Good to see you as well. Travel, says Joe. Ron, sending prayers your way, my friend. Saying prayers your way. So when I show you these strategies, I want you to remember your why. I want you to remember why you're here. Because now that you know your why, okay, today we're going to be introducing something very, very, very revolutionary to you that's going to be an incredible opportunity to begin saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money. See, for me, this is a no-brainer, because by the end of this presentation, you're going to see how professional traders collaborate with each other to help you with your investments. How many of you have invested in a continuing education course or several before? Type in a yes if you have. And no, Karen, I don't know why Tyson was announced, but Tyson's actually on vacation now, just to let you know. But good to see you, Karen. So here's the thing. How many of you would like a program that goes through all of the trading courses that we offer, with the techniques, with the strategies, with trades, to implement them, and to go ahead and begin fine-tuning every strategy and every course that we have offered that you have purchased before and invested in, to help you as even more of a continuing education than just the actual course content that you're probably getting right now. Because the goal is to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. But more importantly, we're going to give you an opportunity today to work with MTI's best and change your life like the thousands of traders that we have trained before you. And in order to do that, again, following a system is great, but our promise to you is this. With what we're going to unveil today, we're going to be eliminating the noise in your head as an investor and providing you that laser-like focus while you trade. And in doing so, you'll begin to walk away more profitable today, tomorrow, and long into the future. Because everybody right now that's achieving financial freedom or success in the markets, whether it be through Gary Fickhart, Josh Martinez, myself, or Tyson, or Chief, or a program, or an algorithm, everyone's posting their results because they want others to follow in their footsteps. Everybody's different though. Some people are going to be making $1,000 a week. Some can make $10,000 a week. Some are making $100 a week right now, growing their accounts. Either way, the big goal for us here at this program is to be able to help you duplicate these results so you can report back your testimonials, your life-changing income. Because the reality of this is what I'm going to show you today, it really isn't that difficult. And with most formulas, guys, you just have to be shown how to do it. But I think we put it into our minds that being an investor is harder than it really is. See, we have traders who are using strategies, who are already speaking, who are professing how much money they're making and pips they're capturing, but at the end of the day, okay, not everybody is following that same exact strategy. So how do we go about fixing that? Well, that's what you're going to discover today, ladies and gentlemen. You might know who this guy is. This guy's name is Gary Fickhart. He's commonly known here at MTI as FX Big Dog. And what you're about to discover today is an opportunity. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you have come across an opportunity that you've turned down for whatever reason and later on you regretted it? I want you to think about that. I think we've all have, right? Because today you're going to find out why the MTI Inner Circle Club was developed and what problems it solves for you, our traders. In fact, you're going to receive advanced knowledge because this is not just about a live class or attending a workshop or a seminar. This MTI Inner Circle Club, this program is going to contain 40-plus years of leadership and Forex trading know-how from the heart of Gary Fickhart, Jared Martinez, and all guest speakers and traders that come on board that only we teach to our certified team members, and now we're to be teaching you. All throughout this program, you will experience the chief philosophy that MTI goes with, known as our key trading principles come to life, and it will not only enhance your understanding of what it means and how to be a successful trader, but it would also allow you to share this knowledge with those you would like to impact and add value to as well. Collaborating with multiple traders using different strategies is what our clients have been asking for forever, and now we're bringing it to the table. So, what makes this MTI Inner Circle Club unique? Well, folks, it's not what you don't know in this market that can hurt you. It's what you think you know about this market that is not so that will financially destroy you. See, you must understand that the trader that knows when he can trade and when he cannot trade, that's who will be consistently successful because the market environment changes all the time. Champion traders, they win their trades first and then enter the market, while defeated traders enter the market and then seek to win and then blame others and have a negative attitude. See, the problem is most traders open their charts, do some analysis, and try to force the market to move in their direction because they're antsy to place a trade. Well, you see, it's not how it works. Don't try to force the market to do what you want it to do. Learn how the market moves and trade in that direction. See, it's not about what you want. You must learn to want what the market wants and then trade in that direction, if that makes sense. Okay, so write that down. Want what the market wants, not what you want, and watch how the Forex market doors will open to your advantage. Now listen, this is why you should not leave this webinar today at all. You're going to be learning a key skill that you cannot learn from anywhere else because the Inner Circle is a brand new program hosted by Gary Fickhart, FX Big Dog, and what makes this super unique is that it's for everyone. So whether you're a brand new trader or you're 10 years plus as a veteran, Gary wants to work with you because Gary has asked me to ask you these following questions to qualify you for this program. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you are properly prepared for retirement? Financially secure for retirement? Type in a yes or a no through trading these markets. Also, how many of you are properly prepared to provide money for your family, to live the lifestyle your family always has deserved, to travel, to get out of debt, pay off medical debt, pay off financial debt, mortgages, bank loans, whatever, credit card debt, money for rainy days or the unexpected? See, Gary asked these following questions because these are challenges that people have, and when they get in contact with Gary and the staff, these types of challenges begin to dwindle away and quantum leaps begin to take over. Now, what's the track record Gary's been doing? In 2016, Gary made over 20,682 pips. Third party tracked with an 85% win rate on MyFXBook Pro. This year alone, with 28 trades placed, he's got a 100% win ratio, over 10,906 pips captured, trading live in these markets. How many of you here would say that's a pretty good track record to follow as far as the guy knows what the market's doing, the guy knows how to trade these markets professionally and how to take advantage of these markets. Very sorry to hear that, Karen. Again, what people put out in this world, it'll come back. So I believe that everything happens for a reason. Blessings your way. Sending prayers your way, Karen. Sorry to hear that. But this is an excellent track record, right? So as we go live to the market now, I want you to think about this guy and what he's been able to do. And not only has he now taken aboard an opportunity to trade live for our traders, but he's now going to be incorporating the trade copier software, which is going to be available on May 1st, which is intended to automatically place Gary's trades in your trading account as well, with no minimum account size required. Okay, no minimum account size required to use the copier. Again, it's new technology that Gary's going to be using. And again, with this type of track record, it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for you to understand how this works and how you can take advantage of a copier with Gary Fickhart. But again, this is just something that I'll be sharing with you a little bit later. This is not actually the Inner Circle program itself. This is Gary now announcing that he wants to be a part of the copier because traders want to trade alongside of Gary. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's go live to the market right now. Transition over to the charts. We've gone ahead and spent about 15 minutes talking about this opportunity, getting a foundation about it. Let's go to the live market and talk about some actual trading analysis and software. So the first thing I want to do here is, as we go live, if you'd be so kind, what is the top currency pair you'd like to see analyzed? And whoever has the most votes on a particular currency pair will open that up. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got a lot of Euro Australian and a lot of, let me see here, a lot of Euro Australian and a lot of Pound Yen. So Euro Australian and Pound Yen, those are two good pairs you guys want to look at. Type in a yes if that makes sense to you. Euro, well, obviously it makes sense, but Euro Australian and Pound Japanese Yen. Let me write this down so I have it. Euro Australian and Pound Japanese Yen. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at that. And then what we'll do here is we'll take a look at the Euro Yen as well. I'll throw in the Euro Yen also. Deal? We'll go 3 currency pairs. Break those down. So Euro Yen, Pound Yen, and Euro Australian. The Euro Yen also was in there a couple times. So let's go ahead and open those charts up and see what we've got on our hands here. Again, the reason I open these charts up from scratch, everybody, is that a lot of traders obviously know how I do analysis. Also, others don't know how I do analysis. So I always believe that if I start from blank charts and you see how I do everything, that it's more of a repetition thing and that you learn faster that way because you'll see how I started it, and it's more of a, you know, teaching but yet hands-on type of thing. So I apologize if you want all the analysis already on the charts, but in my opinion, it's this way faster to help you learn and master the technique that I use, which is simply going from C's to D's and buy lows and sell highs and keeping things very simple. So let me open up these charts. We'll open up here the monthly, weekly, daily, and we'll do 1 hour time frame. Okay, for the Euro Yen. We'll also do the same thing here for the Pound Japanese Yen. And then we'll do the same thing here for the Euro Australian. Okay, all right. Let's see here. All right, so top to bottom, we've got Euro Yen on the top, we've got Pound Yen in the middle, we got Euro Australian here on the bottom. So what we'll focus in on here is going to be very simple. We're going to start from left to right, top to bottom. So we'll go Euro Yen first, Pound Yen second, Euro Australian lat. So let's start with the larger time frame. And again, what we're doing here on the larger time frame is not necessarily trading, as opposed to looking for the overall market direction, okay, to see how that works, okay? So in order to open them all together, Elizabeth, what I did was I clicked on my open charts here, and whatever time frame I want to choose, I'll go ahead and hit control with monthly, weekly, daily, and 1 hour, and then I'll just go ahead and select whichever currencies I want to click on and click open, and then go to the next one, click open, and these stay highlighted. That's how I did that. So, okay. So in this particular chart here, pretty much I would venture to say that the same thing essentially that we're seeing on the pound Japanese yen can be, you know, attributed to what we see here on the euro Japanese yen in regards to the sideways movement that we've seen. And as you can see with this market here going sideways, it's pretty much giving us levels of support, levels of resistance, levels of support, and now the market is rallying, retracing, and setting up here for a long-term type of extension. However, okay, we have to understand that the market direction is going to be established here based off of what's the current conditions of the market. If we simply place a trade based off of what's happened over the past 10 years, it's going to be very difficult to analyze the market on a smaller time frame like a 1 hour chart if we're using an AB boundary that's been in play for 4 years, 5 years now. Okay, so we have to figure out what's happening in the here and the now. So in this particular arena, what do we see? This market here from resistance to support broke a down trend line, and as you can see with breaking the down trend line, what we've got here on our hands is almost the same type of pattern that we're seeing on the pound Japanese yen. Pound Japanese yen has a king crown formation at support. Well, this is the support line that we've drawn here. So essentially, you know, from this area, we can see that this market has also provided us here a left tip, center tip, and has pulled back and formed a right tip at the same area. So there's a king crown formation there in front of us as well, showcasing the analysis. So if we were to utilize our smart Fibonacci's, would we catch that AB boundary? We wouldn't catch the AB boundary that is the king crown formation in regards to the left tip, center tip, and right tip. But with the automated Fibonacci's, nevertheless, this is still going to be the A. This is the first high of the B, and in my opinion, this would be a better swing to look at because now we see the D extension is well before that level of past resistance, okay, that high level of resistance up here. And we can begin to determine what this market's been doing, what it wants to do, and how to take advantage of it. So what we're seeing here so far is just, again, speculating what this market's doing. We're in an up AB swing. And here's how this works. The 5 steps of a king crown are the following. Step 1, market break the trend line, okay? So trend line break. Step 2, we have past resistance equaled or taken out. Step 3, identify the left tip. Step 4, identify the right tip. And step 5, which would be draw the new A, B boundary and trend line across A and C. Those are the 5 steps of the king crown formation. Now again, past resistance equal or taken out because it's a bull crown. If it was a bear crown, it'd be past support equal or taken out. So in this particular scenario here, what do we see? Okay. Well, what we see here is that this market is right now giving us a left tip, center tip, and we've identified the right tip with this formation is being tested over the last 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So we have all 5 steps of the king crown. And as far as the trend line across the A and the C, we can do that as well. Draw that manually. And so as long as the market stays above this trend line, it is in a king crown scenario. Okay. Again, this would be the left tip right here. This is the center tip down here. And this is the right tip over here. Type in a Y or a yes if that makes sense here so far. The 5 steps of the king crown have been identified. Now it's a matter of where do we get in to buy this market, because the markets are falling, right? They've been falling for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 months straight. The market's been falling bearish. So just because the bias is a bullish movement, yeah, long term, right? We've U-turned the 618. Long term, the 1.618 would be the target at 158.349. We'll color it red to match that Fibonacci extension. And so with all the steps of the king crown completed, long term, okay, what we're looking for is for this market to do the following. Rally, retrace, and extend. That's what we're looking for long term, okay, because we also have this support and resistance level here that we talked about. This is large resistance, and this is large support. Now that we have that, the journey is to get from the C to the D. This is the C pullback right here, the monthly. This is the D extension of the monthly. Okay? Our job is to try to get as safely as possible from here to here. If that makes sense, type in a Y or a yes. However, there's going to be wave movements along the way, and that's already begun. If this is the C pullback that, if it doesn't get taken out, and this is the true C, then this market's doing exactly what it should be doing, which is rallying, retracing, getting set up for an extension. Then it'll rally, retrace, extend. Rally, retrace, extend. See, that's what we're looking for on smaller time frames, but the goal is to be able to identify where to get in at those buy low price points along the way to make things easier to understand, easier to execute, easier to obey, and also to give us more profit. So, okay, now the reason I'm not using the King Crown AB boundary, Lennox, is just because the automated Fibonacci's are catching an up AB boundary here that's quite nice. So it's pretty much preference if the AB boundary is there and it would still give you the same A and B as the King Crown, then pretty much I would just use the automated fibs to keep things simple. But, you know, I don't see this market taking out the A unless this is not going to be a King Crown. So as long as the A is still the same King Crown A, I'll just use the automated fibs because that still works. So now what do we do? Well, the market's going to be moving in a wave pattern. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this C pullback low, which is 109.491. $109.491, and that's where I'm going to begin my analysis or the journey on the smaller time frames. Yeah, we have level of large resistance, we have level of large support, that's great, but the reality is, you know, we need to keep things easy to understand, easy to execute, easy to obey. And at this point in time here, okay, now we're going to focus in on, is there any kind of sub swings here on from C to D? And you can see the first swing of A, B, C is now taking place here on our journey from C to D. So what I'm going to do on the daily time frame and below is look for the opportunities here to find out where to get in and where to get out. As of right now, yes, this D extension up here at 158.349 is the long-term target, but as long as this market U-turns at the 5.0 or 618 level, if it goes deeper, sure, we'll adjust this. But right now, it's set to go up to 133.112 if it U-turns. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 133.112, color it red as well to match the Fibonacci extension. And this is the first little sub-AB swing along the way that we need to now look for a trend line break, buy low price point. Obviously, what we need to do here is at this point right here in time, where we're at right now, let's focus on this because smaller time frames will be bearish. So we need to look for trend line breaks or bullish patterns of reversal soon in order to begin looking for a trade to take off to this D extension, which would be from the live market upwards of 1,700 pips to the north short term. Type in a Y or a yes if this makes sense, and if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. Again, like I said earlier, one of the cool things about this is that since we identified the king crown wave movement, placing a trend line across the A and the C just makes it that much better, because now, as long as the market stays above this A to C trend line, A, B, C, we can anticipate perhaps it might go deeper and bounce off that trend line. If not, as long as we stay above it, we're still in the buy zone. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go here and take this information. I don't want to link all these lines here because I know where they're at. What I want to do is I want to keep things simple. So I'm going to focus on this little swing we've got going on here. So I'm going to take this C pullback line that I drew, which is going to be the A of this monthly time frame, and link that. And I'm also going to link this D extension right here, which is 1,700 pips away. So I'll have the sub A, sub B, sub C to sub D wave movement here on this market movement. But from the monthly time frame, I'm going to break this down to the weekly. And here in the weekly, I don't have to go through all that analysis of what happened in the past. What I can focus in on right now is the following. Okay, here is the A-B boundary that I'm looking at right here. Okay, this is the monthly A, B, looking for C to head to D. So in order for me to want to take on any journey to begin climbing, I've got to have some kind of wave movement that says, hey, right now the bulls are going to be in control, so on and so forth. So this market has been in a retracement, right? It's been falling over the last 4 months. So let's take our smart trend lines from the highest point, draw it out, and what you can see here is we do have a trend line break. So finally, after 4 long months of trading, this market has been here now in, actually, was it 4 months? No, actually, not 4 months. Sorry about that. This has been the last 4 months here. Since 2014 to right now, we're finally in the buy zone, and the market, when any trend line break happens, what takes place? Whether it goes straight above or we bounce off the backside. Right now we're testing the backside of the trend line. So what we need to focus in on is looking for an opportunity to have a U-turn here on the weekly time frame, which would come anytime between probably, I would say, this week or next week. Here we have past levels of resistance in this market that can hold strong as a floor support. So anticipate the market to give us perhaps a formation right around this area and then begin to rally in that direction. But ultimately what we also need is we need a counter trend line break over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. This is what we're focusing in on. So if I was to go ahead and utilize automated Fibonacci's on this time frame, okay, it would give me the A-B swings that look something like this. Okay, again, a little bit more conservative than the monthly, just a little bit more, because it's giving us more candles, obviously. But in this particular scenario, the facts still remain the same. The bears are in control right now. We've got past resistance that can become support, so we need a bullish formation, right? We need this opportunity to showcase to us that it's going to be something that's easy to understand, easy to execute, easy to obey. And as of right now, if we're to draw this downtrend line broken, if we're to bounce off the backside, that's fine. If we draw one across this low, you know, right now we're kind of on that trend line right now. We would need a morning star or an engulfing candle to kind of pop back up above it. So we're right on that trend line. So we're kind of at a make or break situation to go a little bit deeper or to begin a U-turn here at past resistance to become a floor support here. And then the D extension would be fairly close to the monthlies at 131.521. And so again, what we'd be looking for here is the opportunity to see this market rally, retrace, rally, retrace, rally, retrace, and rally. That's what I'd be looking for here. We're at a buy low price point at the market. And at the moment, we're at a buy low price point. Now, do we have an entry right now? I don't know yet. Again, this is just simply speculation right now. This is for the opportunity here to see how this has taken place, but we obviously see that since, let me double click on this, since March 12th, the market's been forming nothing but bear candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, now we're in our 5th week of bearish movement. So, it's not guaranteed the U-turn here, okay? But what we will do here is now we'll be looking for trend line breaks on smaller time frames. Crowns, and up A, B, C, D wave patterns. That's what we'll be looking for here on smaller time frames. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, go ahead. This is again here the weekly D, and this is the monthly D, right up here. Everybody got this? Type in a yes. Karen says thanks. Patricia says euro yen. Yeah, so right now, with all the bearish candles, we got to figure out and see what's taking place here. It is at a buy low price point, right? So I will always say this, buy low, buy low, buy low. We have also here, you can see sell high, sell high. These will all be sell high. These will all be buy low price points. But every buy low price point's got to have a formation. Got to have a formation. We don't have a formation here. And every formation that's on a weekly time frame or above, it's going to be too late to buy it. We have to see that reversal taking place on a smaller time frame. So let's take this weekly D and also link that to the daily time frame, lower charts. So now we've got the monthly D and the weekly D that we'll have as targets set above for us. And on the daily time frame, okay, we can go ahead here and zoom in on this movement. And here's how this is going to work for the daily right now, okay? As of right now, we already know where the weekly D extension is, and we already know here where the monthly D extension is. So is it worth drawing more Fibonacci's on the daily time frame and getting even a different Fibonacci swing? We can try it to see what that looks like, but I don't want to confuse anybody. So right here, it's just going to give you an even more, now a third swing with a more conservative target at this point in time. You can see this market here has been forming an AB boundary on the daily time frame, been making lower lows, lower highs. As of right now, it's right around the 50618 area. Past resistance right around here can become a floor support. Here's past resistance areas right here that can become a floor support. There's resistance. Right now, this is where the market would give us a floor support, if any. And so ultimately, the best thing to do here would be to simply wait for the market to give us a nice little trend line break, not from this high up here like this, okay? In my opinion, that's way too far out, but to give us a little bit more of a conservative, tighter trend line, aggressive trend line, that would be more of an accurate trend line here because this is for the daily time frame. Now on smaller charts, this will be our long-term outer. Then we'll also have here an outer trend line like this. And then we'll also have an inner trend line like this. So we'll have inner, outer, and long-term trend lines on smaller time frames, okay? But right now, bears are still in control. Until the trend lines begin to break. So what they say is the trend is your friend until it bends, right? So as of right now, this is what we're seeing. And if it does go up, the D extension for the daily is even more conservative than the weekly. It's at 130.040. Go ahead here, and we have a dotted line, a dash dot line. Let's make this a dashed line. 130.040. And so here is the daily D up here. Here's the weekly D up here. And here's the monthly D up here. All right, so if you want to take a screenshot of this opportunity, please do, and then we'll go ahead here and break this down to the 1 hour time frame and see what we've got going on the 1 hour time frame now because now what we're going to focus in on is this daily A-B swing. We're going to map it out, okay, on the 1 hour time frame. If the bulls start to climb, yes, all D extensions will be hit, George, if the bulls continue to take over. But right now what I'm giving everybody is just more, targets to go after in regards to the D extensions that they can see on every time frame to say, okay, once the D is hit, do I really want to go after the weekly or monthly if I'm going to pull back right now, or do I take the profit and begin to plan my next move, things like that. I always want to help everybody out as much as possible. So let's go ahead here and let me jot this down. The A of the daily is at 112.066. The B is at 123.175. Okay. And the D extension, I'm going to link that obviously. So let's link this D extension to the 1 hour time frame. And then now on the 1 hour time frame, see what we've done here on the 3 time frames is we've looked for identified market direction. We've confirmed that market direction long term, and now we're looking for entry before placing trades. And so we don't see anything here as far as an entry just yet. And so when we break down to the 1 hour time frame, now you can see that I've linked all my lines here, which is great because now you can see I have my daily, weekly, and monthly D extensions. And on the 1 hour time frame, I don't have to have monumental Godzilla, King Kong style AB boundaries here to tell me where the market wants to go. There's no, I don't need to do that. What I need to focus in on is trend line breaks and opportunities. So in this particular scenario here, okay, this market's been making lower lows, lower highs. So it's in a retracement. Well, the trend is your friend until it bends. Until this trend breaks, the bears are in control here. So the easiest thing to do would be to go ahead and go on top of this trend here and draw a smart trend line across the highs of resistance as a long-term outer trend line, then also an outer trend line, and then an inner trend line as well, which would be here across the most recent A, B, C, D, which that would be right around here, A, B, C, D. So this would be the inner trend line right here. And so on the 1 hour time frame, no inner trend line has been broken yet. Okay, so once these trend lines begin to break, then we'll start seeing some up A-B swings or some reversal patterns to take place here to start heading towards those target prices up there, which are the daily, the extension, weekly, the extension, and the monthly, the extension up here. And so that's what we're seeing here so far with the euro Japanese yen, which is going to be, again, bears are in control. Wait for trend lines to break before entering bullish. The reason why is because when the markets break the inner trend line, it'll begin to gravitate towards that outer trend line for the next bounce down. When that breaks, gravitates to the long term. When that breaks, we'll have major reversal. Plus, you'll have enough trend line by then, up AB boundaries, all sorts of good stuff there. Type in a Y or a yes if that makes sense. Okay. So, again, is there a possible up AB swing here? Yes, there's a possible up AB swing here, but as of right now, being in the sell zone below an inner trend line, I'm not going to go ahead and take a chance of saying, hey, let's buy this swing. I'd rather have the market show me pips and break the trend line and then redraw my fibs than guess and go deeper and deeper into bear territory here. So right now, this is what we see on the euro yen. Bears in control. So as of right now, if we're waiting for this pullback to take place, we have to wait it out. If you're bearish, continue locking in profit, continue taking on the opportunities as long as they stay below these trend lines. But once they break, begin to see that reversal taking place here. So if we're clear on the euro Japanese yen, type in a yes. Here is, if you want to take a screenshot, here's the chart right here. Okay, awesome. So again, like I said, I don't want to give any false expectations with AB boundaries right now. It's possible there's a little up AB swing here, but I'd rather be more secure with more reasons to get in than just guessing it's going to do that. I need trend line breaks, and I need formations to take place here. And look how much profit opportunity there is. I can wait this out a little bit for trend lines to break before getting involved. I don't need to jump the gun here. But the Euro Japanese yen, doing pretty good. And again, like you'll see here on the daily time frame, if it does U-turn at this past resistance to become support, you'll see trend lines break taking place very, very quickly over the next couple of days, and you'll see how AB boundaries will form here on the 1 hour chart. Pound Japanese yen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pound Japanese yen here. Pound Japanese yen, as you can see here, basically doing the same thing that the Euro Japanese yen has been doing. It's been moving sideways. Okay, so by moving sideways here, this market has been finding levels of resistance and levels of support as well. So one of the things about this is that very similar, okay, to the Euro Japanese yen is that as this market gives us large resistance here and large support, that once that trend line broke from resistance to support, that we can see here this market provided us a king crown scenario. There's a left tip right here. Here's the center tip right here. Here's the right tip right here. And so again, just like the pound Japanese yen, Euro yen's also, okay, got a king crown formation here on the screen for us to take advantage of and see. So the thing I'm going to be looking at here most importantly is, in this scenario, if I draw my smart Fibonacci's, will it give me an AB boundary that's similar or the exact AB swing of the king crown? And you can see here it does not. This is why I kept the AB boundary of the Euro yen, because it gave me an AB boundary with the A still here at this low. If I use the pound Japanese yen, the right tip of the crown here took out my swing, so now I'm going to use the actual AB boundary of the king crown, which would be here an A. Which one? Let me see which one's lower here. These two wicks look pretty similar. 116,950, 116,810. Okay, there we go. So 116,810. A to B. This is the first high that took out the level of resistance. That's why I'm not using this high or this high. It's the first high that takes out the trend line break and also the level of resistance of the left tip. So now we've got this market giving us a king crown scenario. Again, I can go ahead and say that this market is giving us support and resistance, right? But you can see the D extension are much more conservative than the level of resistance. So I'm going to not worry about that right now. Trend line break, resistance taken out, identify left tip, identify the right tip. New AB boundary, and also now, according to the rules, okay, place your trend line across the A and the C of the king crown. And so right here we're seeing the A and the C of this movement here. This market came all the way down and retraced down to the 86%. So if it does climb and rally, the 1.18 would be the target here. That price point would be 185.255. And as you can see here now, we have our A, B, C to D wave movement. So just like the Euro yen, if this market is going to begin to climb from C to D, our job as traders is to begin identifying, first of all, where's the opportunity to get involved, okay? How do we get there? How do we get there safely? Okay, by practicing proper equity management, looking at the strategies. But we know the markets don't go in a straight line, right? So as the markets not go in a straight line, they wave, okay? And Stanley, don't worry, my friend, I apologize, but this is recorded, so if you want to go back and follow up, contact your account rep, Stanley. We record these webinars, and you'll be able to watch it, at your own pace, my friend. And so what we see here is this market giving us, so far, from the C pullback to the D extension, it has already rallied. It is now retracing. We'll look for the market to extend because the market's going to move in a wave pattern. So just like the pound Japanese yen, we're looking for the market to give us enough AB swing. Has it given us enough AB swing here? It is giving us enough AB swing. So rather than go after that big D extension as of right now, let's go after this smaller, more conservative wave along the way. And map out that D extension here. So as we zoom in, we can see that this market here is giving us an A, B, C. So far on the 5.0 level, that means the D extension would be at 164.935. And we'll color it red. That'll be the D extension there of the monthly sub swing. Rally, retrace, extend. So again, let's link this D extension to the smaller time frame, and what we're looking for here is we're looking for, obviously we see the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of bearish activity. We're looking for trend line breaks, bull patterns, just like we did on the pound Japanese or the euro Japanese yen. We're going to be looking for trend line breaks at the buy low price points that the markets are at right now. Now, how many pips is that from this opportunity? If the markets decline from here, it is around 2,800 pips of opportunity. Does that mean we have just because it's at a buy low price point that we have an entry? No. Right now the monthly candle is bearish. It could go deeper in bearish retracement. We're just seeing where the market's at right now. The only way we're going to be looking to get in is if we have trend line breaks on smaller time frames, bullish patterns, all sorts of good stuff like that, and then we can go ahead and confirm that and place trend lines to get us in a position to safely trade those opportunities without major risk involved as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to transition over to the weekly time frame, but let me know by typing in a yes in the chat box when you have a screenshot of this. Pound Japanese yen. Excellent. Okay, so again, let me see if I linked the red lines. I did. Okay, so now I go to the weekly, and I can see pretty much where that monthly D extension is. And ultimately what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to determine from this retracement if I have any trend line breaks and opportunities here. So obviously I can see here that this market is giving me inner, outer trend lines here to take advantage of. And this is why I always say it's important to draw your inner, outer, and long-term trend lines, because when the market's in the sell zone, once the inner trend lines break, okay, they begin to naturally gravitate towards that outer trend line for the next bounce. If that breaks, they begin to naturally gravitate towards the long-term outer trend line, which here's where we're at right now. Right now we broke the inner trend line, broke the outer trend line, bounced at the backside, so we're still waiting for an opportunity, but with our smart fib, it's the same AB boundary here that we've got in the monthly time frame. Same thing, A, B, C, there's the same D extension right there. So the inner trend line breaking, outer trend line breaking as well. We've got the long-term outer trend line in the way. If that breaks, major reversal, D extension, okay? All sorts of good stuff like that. So in this particular scenario here, we're getting more of sideways movement at the moment, okay? So, but also just like the pound Japanese yen, I'm sorry, just like the euro Japanese yen here, we're seeing here an area of past resistance in the market, right here, that this market may be forming a morning star there, might form next week, might be a morning star area, might be a U-turn. We'll see how that works. It was a support level here so far. We'll see how this works out. But this is the same AB boundary here that we've got going on as the monthly sub swing. So here we've got both the monthly sub and weekly the extension. Up here at 164.935. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. Type in a Y or a yes when you have this information. Take a screenshot of it. And we're going to break this down to the daily time frame. And again, now that we know where the sub swing is for the monthly and weekly, they're pretty much identical. They're exactly alike, right? Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out, is this market going to fall deeper, or are we at a point where the market's going to U-turn and climb? Okay, so we take this to the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, again, let's just zoom in. We already know that the trend lines have broken across the board. So now, two things can take place here. Number one is, do we look at this and say, let's draw an AB boundary from the center tip, just like we did on the weekly and monthly? And so far, you're seeing that we can do that. We're in our second swing. This market's giving us here a little bit of a pennant, wedge type of trading channel. It's getting obviously tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So what we got to focus in on now is very simple. We need a trend line break, okay? From this high, we need a trend line break across these highs of resistance to enter into the buy zone towards that D extension. This D extension is much more conservative than the weekly and monthly D up here. So let's draw a line there, map it out. And we've got here price point 151.370. Go ahead and make this a red. Let's make it a dotted line here, make it different. And so on the daily time frame, we need to have this market break above into the buy zone. This is the buy zone up here. Market's still technically in the sell zone as of right now via retracement. So we need this trend line to break before heading in up A, B, C, D. We have past resistance that can become support. We have, obviously we have different levels of past resistance. Here's how I usually focus on trying to find the C pullback in any swing. What I do is I take a look here at the A, B boundary, and I'll map out a line across the A and the B. Usually I'll do it a black line like this. And then what I'll do is inside of the A and the B, this is the B, this is the A, inside my AB boundary, I'll go in the past, only within the AB boundary, nothing higher or lower, just inside the AB boundary. And then what I'll do here is I'll map out different lines from the A, okay, from the A going backwards. I'll go ahead and say this is a high right here. Go across and up. This is a high right here. Across and up. This is a high. Across and up. This is a high. Across and up. Well, now it's higher than the B. So these are all past levels of resistance in the market, okay, that can become a floor of support for the future in the AB boundary. Look how this AB boundary, you see how the market bounced right here at that past level and took off? How many people see that? Literally bounced off that level and took off. Okay? That was your true C until it got taken out. Then look how the market came down to the next past level of resistance, bounced and took off. We're talking a lot of pips here. When it bounced off the first one, this bad boy took off 982 pips, 1,000 pips. Bounced off this one, took off 800 pips, 900 pips. And here you can see we're still at this past level of resistance that can become a floor support. So if the market gives us a U-turn at that level, that's your C pullback. Okay? So far, we've held strong once. If we bounce again, you'll see how this market breaks and begins to take off. Type in a Y or a yes if that helps you as far as identifying where the C pullback can be in any swing. Is this the C? Is this the C? Or is this the C pullback? Just a little trick here, a little trader's tip to help you. Now, obviously, it can go deeper, and this might not be the C, but at least you'll know that if it bounces off these levels and you see trend line breaks on smaller time frames, you've got some trading opportunity in your possession. Okay? But at least you know those levels are where the market will bounce off and begin to take off. So that's what we see here on the daily time frame. Let me see if I have linked this chart. Let me just go ahead and link this, the extension to the 1 hour chart. And so now in the 1 hour time frame, again, what you can see here is very simple. Right now we're at a daily past level of resistance that can become a floor support. So I'm going to go ahead and link that line as well. Let me just link those levels. Lower, lower, and lower. Link these levels so that on the 1 hour time frame, what I can do in the 1 hour chart is if I have any trend line breaks or formations, right, at any of these lines of daily time frames, I'll know, boom, I can begin to take off pretty aggressively in the direction of the bulls towards that target. So what I'll do right now is draw a trend line. Because we're going to break that trend line first. There, we'll hit extend. Okay, that's the trend line we need to break as far as the long-term trend line, but if we're at a level of past resistance that can become support and the market's making lower lows, lower highs, you can also begin to draw some more trend lines here. That's not an accurate trend line. Trigger happy there. Give me a second. There we go. And give me a second here. And right there. So as of this point here right now, we've got long-term outer, and inner trend lines, the most recent movement here. So if we have a bounce here to the north, then what's pretty awesome is that at a past level of resistance that becomes support, we have an up A, B, C, D potential wave movement here. So if this market's going to begin to take off, we'll see it rally. Let me change the colors here of this. We'll see it here rally, retrace, and extend at past levels of resistance that are becoming support. And again, you can always see that there's an AB boundary there as well. So just like the pound Japanese or the euro Japanese yen, I don't want to go ahead and give you an AB boundary that that is unrealistic, but this one has broken the inner trend line, and now we're pretty much at the backside of a trend line with also a past level of resistance from a daily time frame to a future now level of support in this market. Okay, and if the A gets taken out, then obviously the market can continue to fall all the way down to the next level. So you see this kind of a free fall area for the market to do that. So that's good to know, so that you have proper expectations of how far the market can continue to fall to find that. So this particular opportunity in the market, if it does pay out, would be, there's no formation right now, but the risk to the A would be about 30 pips. Reward would be about 107 pips. That's if, you got in based off of no candlestick formation just right now off the backside. I don't recommend that, but again, that's an opportunity, okay? But as of right now, type in a Y or a yes if you see what's taking place with the pound Japanese yen, just like we did the euro yen. Markets are pretty much setting up for bull trades, but they're still in bear territory for right now, and they're also kind of sideways, a little bit tighter in the wave movement here because of a wedge type of channel happening at the moment. But that's so far with the euro yen and pound yen. So we got one more to go. Let's take a look here at the euro Australian. Sam says, Jose, before trading the downtrend line breaks on the 1 hour time frame, do you wait for the inner trend line on the daily chart to be broken first? No, the daily time frame breaking the trend line would be further confirmation. If I wait for the daily time frame to break the trend line, it might be a little bit too late or too much high risk involved in the trade at that point. Then I have to wait for a major retracement to get back in. So I would go ahead and if you're anticipating the market to break on the daily, look for patterns that would point in that direction on the 1 hour. All right, so we've got here on the monthly time frame for the Euro Australian. As you can see here, predominantly what I'm seeing is very simple on the monthly time frame. This market here was making lower lows, lower highs, broke trend line here, and it's giving us higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and sideways movement. So first of all, let me identify the up AB swing here, which we've got on our hands right there. Next, since this is so obvious as far as what's taking place here, this market's been sideways. Now, we have the AB swing in regards to how far the market can break out to fulfill the D, but here we see that the market has given us levels of resistance right here and levels of support, I'd venture to say right here. Okay? So this is levels of resistance and support. This is the consolidation, obviously, that we're seeing here in the direction of the up AB boundary on the Euro Australian. It is a range that is upwards of 2,000 pips. And essentially what we do at resistance is we look to sell this market with confirmation, and at support we look to buy the market with confirmation. Well, right now, are we at a buy level of the market or a sell level of the market with the Euro Australian in regards to consolidation? Are we at support or resistance? Yeah, we're at large support, right? So now that we're at large support, that tells me that now our job is to look for how to get safely from here in the market to here in the market, unless there is more conservative areas to trade towards in regards to up A, B, C, D swings along the way. Okay, so let's take this black line and link it to the smaller time frames. Let's take this black line and link this to the smaller time frames as well. And now we have, as you can see, the pattern on our screen, which is this market here going from the up AB boundary into consolidation, selling, buying, selling. Now we're looking to buy once again. So take a screenshot of this and let me know when you're done, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the weekly time frame. Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead here and move on from the Euro Australian daily to the weekly time frame. And again, we're just focusing in on where this market's at right now. We don't really need to focus in on the daily D, on the monthly D extension right now since we're in consolidation. But we'll know the monthly D is a little bit higher. Let's go ahead and link it just for the purposes of knowing where the breakout D extension would be. That would be here at 1.68025. So that would be the D extension area where the market would break out and fulfill the D. So I'll link that as well to the smaller time frames, so that now we know that, yes, we're in consolidation, but there's also the monthly D extension up here. And then if you need the prices for resistance and support, they're right here, 1.57788 for resistance, 1.37157 for support. And so just like anything here, ladies and gentlemen, on the weekly time frame, you know, what we need here is we need to find out, now that we're at support, you know, do we have an up AB boundary to trade here as an opportunity, right? We can go from support to resistance. Well, that was the trend line, so we do have an uptrend line. So you see the uptrend line is working quite nicely, but we don't need the uptrend line right now. What I need is, do I have a smart Fibonacci? And I do have an up AB swing here at the moment at support. And again, if we're looking to go towards resistance, then we're anticipating this market to do the following: A, B, C to D. A, B, C to D. A, B, C to D. That's what we're looking at here. So we do have an up AB swing at the moment. This is what we're seeing so far on the weekly time frame. So if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this, let me know, and then we'll go to the daily, because the weekly is giving us so far an up A-B swing, but it's not giving us a crystal clear entry at the moment, right? So what we will do is we will have the D extension target, which is way more conservative than the monthly D, way more conservative than large resistance. This up A-B swing, you turn it to 5.0 so far, so if it reaches the D extension, that D extension is right here at 1.47337. Let's color it red as well for the Fibonacci D. We'll make it a dashed line. So there's the D extension there. Let's link it to the smaller time frames. Okay, and now we have this info on the daily time frame. And so on the daily time frame, as you can see, we're just zooming in here and the now, focusing on what's taking place. And we're going to keep things easy to understand, easy to execute, easy to obey. Do we have, our journey, has it begun from this area of resistance, and the market's been falling? We have long-term outer, and inner trend lines that have been drawn. And you can see here that, yes, indeed, the inner trend, once the market U-turned its support, it broke the inner trend line, naturally gravitated to the outer trend line for the next bounce. And now we're on the verge of looking to break the outer trend line. If that breaks, we're definitely going to strike the D, because then we'll be gravitating towards that long-term outer for the major reversal towards the level of resistance. So since we broke the inner trend line, we can go ahead and draw some automated Fibonacci's to see what we've got on our hands here as far as potential for more conservative swings or not. And we do. But let me label this so far as the weekly D right here. This is the monthly D right here. And now we're just going to focus on this up AB boundary here that we've got in our hands. Okay, inner trend line broke. Outer trend line here is on the verge. So right now we have an up AB boundary with a C pullback here. Let me zoom in as much as possible. C pullback came down to a low price on the daily of 139404, which is still a 786. So the 1.27 would be the D extension here of this daily time frame, and that would be right there at 1.44287. Let's color that line blue. And that would be the wave movement here to fulfill that up AB boundary here. Rally, retrace, extend. Rally, retrace, extend. Rally, retrace, extend. So it's much more of a conservative target than the weekly's D extension and the level of resistance. But this is what we're seeing here so far. The daily's D extension with a trend line break is about 275, almost 300 pips away there. So this is what we're seeing so far in the Euro Australian over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days is some bullish opportunity here. Will there be a U-turn at the level of resistance, the line? Yeah, possibly. Pull back before breaking it, but that's why we have to figure out what's taking place in the smaller time frame, use your systems, use your opportunities, see how that works. But so far what you can also do is draw a smart trend line from this low, and as long as the market stays above the uptrend line, okay, you're in good shape. Once it starts to break it, then kind of reserve yourself a little bit before going any further. But type in a Y or a yes if you have this screenshot of this chart, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the 1 hour time frame. And here in the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, we've got the level of support. We've got the daily D right here. Got the weekly D right here. What else we got? We got level of major resistance and monthly D up here. So at least we see all the opportunities, both long-term and short-term, on what to go after, right? Resistance and support. And so here on this 1 hour time frame, what we've got to identify is the following. Where's the C pullback of the daily? Right down here, okay? This is the C of the daily right here. This is the daily D. So if this is the most recent wave movement the market's going after on a daily time frame, then it would make sense that as long as the market wants to go from C to D of the daily time frame, that we go ahead here and utilize our tools to our advantage. As long as the market stays above this uptrend line in the buy zone, we can get safely from the C to the D with equity management, with candlestick formations. We can always turn on our candlestick formations along the way. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Trade settings, tool settings, what's bullish formations. Instead of this forest green color, I like the neon green. Stands out, it pops a lot. I like it a lot. There we go, we'll save it. So you can turn on your bullish formations here, bullish engulfing candles, for example. Also utilize your smart Fibonacci's. Let me zoom in on this. And you can see here that this market gave us, yep, it was AB boundary that got taken out. So with this pullback right here, we start all over again. And now we've got the up AB swing here. So as long as the market is above the uptrend line in the buy zone, we've got an AB boundary, C pullback here taking place right around the 5.0 level, which is past resistance, becoming a floor support. Candlestick formations taking place. 1.618 here would be the target on the 1 hour swing. And again, as long as we stay above this uptrend line, what we do is we keep things easy to understand, easy to execute, easy to obey. Sell high, buy low. Sell high, buy low. Sell high, buy low. That's what we're seeing right there for the Euro Australian. Appreciate that, Marcelo. So if you take a screenshot of this, type in a Y or a yes, let me know. All right. Now, do you like what I did here today in regards to pointing out the analysis, pointing out the trading opportunities here, and saying where we should look to get in, and maybe some pending orders would be fantastic, and so on and so forth? This is essentially a sneak peek as to what not only I can bring to the table, but maybe Josh, Chief, Gary, in this Inner Circle Club that we are debuting this week, which is going to be a game changer for all of our clients. Anybody who has Ultimate Trading software, anybody who's a client of MTI, we believe should be a member of the Inner Circle Club. So if you like what I've shown you here, then sit back and relax and listen to what this opportunity has in store for you moving forward, because not only will we talk about a trade copier opportunity in a little bit, but what is this Inner Circle Club and how does it work? Okay, well, it's a talk show style club where we do live trading segments 3 times a week for you that are 2 hours long, covering all of the strategies and methodologies that MTI offers. Gary will interview industry professionals and extract the best strategies. We're going to provide you access to a strategy of the week, to the month, and of the quarter. Interactive Q&A segments with myself, Gary, Tyson, Josh, Chief. The value, and specifically what you're getting here, is what makes the opportunity unbelievable, okay? Because, yes, this is a trading room. However, this trading room is very unique. Regardless of how much or little you have invested in yourself so far as a trader, okay, in the past, one of the several big value items of this club is the collaboration between the host, Gary, and the traders like myself, Josh, Tyson, and others. Having multiple traders together in our inner circle, being able to collaborate together using multiple strategies combined, is something that you, our clients, our students, have been asking for forever, and now it's here. So my question is, do you have a mentor in your life right now, folks? What I mean by that is someone who invests time and attention into your life. Someone who answers your questions, shares what he or she has learned from the experience like I'm doing today? Yes or no? Because it seems like so many people are trying to go at it alone these days, where they figure things out on their own, AB boundaries on their own, formations on their own, from how to solve problems of growing their account on their own. And because of that, you're spending too much time reinventing the wheel or learning from your own personal experiences of both success and failure, as opposed to the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Learn from Jared Martinez, the founder of MTI. This guy is the man when it comes to trading, and he's accurately predicted over 100,000 pips in the last 2 years. Gary Fickhart, who's the director of trading at MTI, an expert for over 20 years. He'll help you, winning 82% of his closed trades. Also, myself, Jose Tormos, been here for 10 years in this market, showing people how to maintain and build superior trading performance. I've brought countless traders to their tipping point. Joshua Martinez, the director of client success here, also an expert trader, published author, has trained tens of thousands of investors online via social media and also here with webinars and live classes, made over 40,000 pips net since February of last year, and he wins over 76% of all his closed trades. Tyson Clayton, product expert, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, expert for 15 plus years, he's made over 27,000 pips net in 2016, and he wins over 67% of his closed trades in this market. So again, the goal of the program is to bring you into the MTI inner circle, to show you what we do, how we do it live every single week, to shorten the learning curve, increase your profits, increase your winning percentage, find that strategy that will let you generate income. Also, some traders do spend tens of thousands of dollars to find their strategies. Let the inner circle bring you those strategies so that you can find out how to apply them into the market. That makes things fun, exciting, financially rewarding, simple, financially fulfilling, and easy, ladies and gentlemen. And it works. That's the bottom line. So, this inner club live events, if you've ever suffered from analysis paralysis or too many choices to make in the market, fearful of executing strategies, entering trades too early, or staying in trades too long, if you'd like to eliminate those feelings once and for all, then our live events 3 times a week for 2 hours at a time gives you, okay, the opportunity to trade live with incredible opportunity here. 6 times a week. This market gives you 6 hours of analysis, live trading, starting on May 15th. This will set you up for the experience firsthand with all the staff. If we were to give this away, this would be a $5,995 course or a club. But this is the value of what we're providing you today with this club. And if you enroll today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to offer you an awesome bonus because we know, in fact, the chief knows that you need to get immediate value for your education. So when you type in your telephone number, we'll also let you trade side by side with Gary and his guests in what we call the MTI Strategy Club. And the program here couldn't be any simpler. We're going to give you access to strategies of the week, strategies of the month, strategies of the quarter, ladies and gentlemen, so you don't get stuck spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to figure out what to do. This is designed to get you out of the gate strong your first time around, to show you the power of the formulas you've already invested in firsthand. This is earn while you learn. The thought process is, let's show them some returns in this club every week. This would be a $4,995 value by itself. Now, if I could have just 1 minute of your undivided attention, 30 seconds to a minute of your undivided attention. Mentorship and follow-through is the #1 thing that separates MTI from any other education institution, ladies and gentlemen. You're literally going to get your hand held here the entire step of the way because Gary and his staff, they're going to provide you with powerful software like never before. See, I really didn't understand the power of a trade copier until I became a member of the trade copier software. I love it. I think it's great. But the fact that there's Gary behind it, placing trades, helping me, he's doing the serious lifting for me. And that's helping me take advantage of the markets before the markets take advantage of me. Obviously, the results, people sound happy when they go with Gary Fickhart and they join the professional environment, right? You too can get educated. Learn how to trade the Forex market from professional traders that are going to be on the show with Gary Fickhart that monitor the markets every day. See our expert analysis. and look at the market trade setups in real time, which you can follow. We don't just provide you with talk about it. We show you how it's done. Why? Because trading the Forex market doesn't have to be a lonely business. This inner club circle was created to bring all types of traders together for one purpose, to help you become successful in the Forex market. So let's do this, okay? Live events 3 times a week, the Strategy Club, Gary Fickhart's Trade Copier, a 6-figure income without the cost of it. Now the program itself is about a $14,000 program, okay? $14,000 program. There's a lot that goes into the program to build this cost. Everything it takes, okay, to make sure this program runs. All the staff, all the material, all the technology. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, today, MTI's Inner Circle Club is where you can manage your success with host Gary Fickhart today. Now listen, there's an online price. If you were not in this webinar today and you wanted to invest in all this information, sure, you can invest $14,000 with all that we've got to offer, and it'll be a drop in the bucket once you get your returns. But since you are in this webinar today, there's a bit of a special, right? A little bit of an early bird special. This is to help you master any program you have invested in with Gary and his special guests each week showing you the way. So today with our early bird pricing, ladies and gentlemen, the MTI Inner Circle Club, I will allow everyone in this webinar to come on board when you type in your telephone number right now for only $995. Folks, what that's going to do is save you thousands of dollars immediately on something you've already wanted to happen for so long. It's very easy to get started. All you need to do right now at this point in time is type in your telephone number into the questions box. I'm going to suggest you do that right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an education specialist reach out to you. Spend as much time as necessary with you talking about the Inner Circle Club. Make sure all your questions are answered. Make sure that you know what we're doing for you. And then, folks, we're off to the races when we go live. The only problem you'll have is that you didn't have this opportunity 6 months ago because it wasn't available, and get started back then. Yes, Mario, we do have payment plans available, but again, type in your telephone number. We will make sure that we speak with you about that if you need a payment structured plan. We do have plans to fit your budget. Let us help you get set up on a plan that meets your needs. Yes, Stuart, this will all be available on Mac computers, Apple computers as well, not a problem. So I want to thank the following individuals who are typing in their telephone numbers at the moment. Dio, thank you for your telephone number. James, thank you for your number as well. Vent, thank you for your number. Fia Moore and Christopher, thank you. Hal, thank you for your telephone number also. William, thank you for your telephone number also. Sam, yes it is. Satvir, type in your number. We'll speak with you about that. Lena, thank you for your telephone number also. Graham, thank you. Now, folks, as you're posting your telephone numbers in, some of you like the fact that this is $995 a month, and you want to take it for a test drive and see if this is something you'd like to be a part of. Some of you want to take advantage of the opportunity, so let me show you how it gets even better. If all this MTI Inner Circle Club does for you is help you master the technique of trading from several different hosts and traders to help you generate thousands of dollars month after month after month for the rest of your life, would it be worth the investment of $995 per month, yes or no? Type in a Y or a yes if that's you. And really stop and think about it before you continue, because if all this does for you is help to ensure you have money to retire with, learn strategies and techniques like never before, if all this package does for you is help you earn enough money to travel around the world, spend more time with your family and loved ones, which that's real financial freedom, would it be worth the investment? Absolutely. All right, I agree. So how does it get better? Well, ladies and gentlemen, for a limited time, we do have what's called bonus bundle packages. Now I'm going to give you a huge bonus here, and this bonus will only be available to those of you that enrolled today. It is our bonus copy trader match. What does that mean? MTI will match the number of months you enroll with the Inner Circle Club with Gary Fickhart's Trade Copier, saving you thousands of US dollars. So listen, okay? We have a couple of wonderful options here. Option A, B, or C if you'd like a bundled package. All you need to do is type in your telephone number with option A next to it if you would like to save 20% off and get the Inner Circle Club for 3 months as a bundle. And to match you, we'll also give you 3 months of Gary Fickhart's Trade Copier for free. That's option A. If you would like to go with 6 months, which has been the most popular deal, option B, for 6 months with our Inner Circle Club, we'll also match you by saving you 40% off. We'll give you 6 months free of Gary Fickhart's trade copier. And option C, ladies and gentlemen, which has been also the most popular up until now because 12 months of the copier is no longer available, is a 12-month package saving you 50% off. You get to be in the Inner Circle for a year, and we'll give you 6 months of the trade copier for free. So ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment to type in option A, B, or C with your telephone number in the chat questions box, chat section, because I'm going to do something real quick here. I'm going to give you a little secret about success, and a lot of you out there are wondering or thinking, well, I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to give you a little secret. There's something I learned about 8 years ago in business, and it changed me a lot. The things that you think about in your mind control the words that you speak. So if you start thinking, oh, I can't do this, then you're probably going to start saying that and then believing that. Well, I used to fall into the same pit. And what happened was I changed what I said to I can do this. I am doing this. My thoughts controlled my words, and my words controlled my attitude and my belief system, which is why I sit here and talk to you the way that I do and show you what I do in the market. My belief system controls my habits. Your habits control your actions. Your actions control your results. Your results control your future. If you change how you think, you change your future. Why do you change how you think? For me, I got around people who think differently, which is what I'm giving you the opportunity to do right now. I got away from the average people and started hanging around entrepreneurs. I started hanging around people that were much further along in life than I was, and it stressed me out. But you know what? The more I started to hang around them, the more I started to realize that I do think a little differently. Now, if I think like those people, I can be like those people. There's nothing that separates you from professional traders. It's just a matter of how they think. So again, I apologize if I'm getting all fired up and ramped up here, but I believe in this so much, folks. It's what we've built our entire careers off of, helping you understand how to think and believe a little bit differently, and your income changes dramatically. So please forgive me if I'm pressing a little bit here, but folks, I'm fired up. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're giving you the opportunity to start for as low as $995. We also have bundle bonus packages with A, B, or C when you type in your telephone numbers. Again, Christopher, thank you for option C. William, thank you for option B. And we're also matching you with a copier during these bundles as well. So let me ask you a few quick questions. A lot of you here are saying you want to do payment plans. Not a problem. We have payment plans available for each of these options as well if you need them. Some of you are saying you want to do option B. Thank you for that. Some of you are saying option A. For those of you that are typing your telephone numbers, if you think you might be leaning towards option A, B, or C, and you're in a position to do A, B, or C, I'm not saying you're committed. I'm not saying you have all your questions answered. I'm not saying you're locked in. I'm just saying if you're in a position to make a bundle with A, B, or C, would you please type in letter A, B, or C with me into the chat box there? What I can do is run down a direct path to make sure you talk with an education specialist, make sure all your questions are answered, okay? Now again, on the other hand, if you need financing, no problem. Type in your number with which option you need. We can do that as well, okay? Now again, thank you for option A, Mario. We have also got Ron with option C. Mohammed says option B with a payment plan, Jose, all right? Make sure, folks, that you put in your telephone number with the option so that we can call you and make sure that we know what you need and what you want. You can always go from option B to C or C to A if you need. It's up to you. But I want to thank Mohammed for your telephone number as well. Christopher, thank you. Option C. William, thank you. Option B. Glennis, thank you for your number. Ellen, thank you for your number as well. Vincent, thank you. Lena, thank you. Option C for Lena. Also, Sam, thank you. Option C. Vipul says option B. Thank you, Vipul. Hal says option C. Thank you, Hal. Fiamore, thank you for your number. Venkatesh, thank you. Mohammed, thank you for your number as well. Also want to thank Patricia for option B. Thomas, option A. Thank you for your telephone number. Again, folks, remember, very simple. The Inner Circle Club, you can manage your success with host Gary Fickhart. This is a $14,000+ program, but you won't pay that today, folks. With early bird pricing, you can master any program you've invested in with Gary and his special guests each week. $995 to get started. You can act now by typing in your telephone number. And again, what this will do is the following. This will provide you, okay, years and years of experience from Gary and his team that range from brand new traders to 10+ year veterans. This is a talk show style live trading segment 3 times per week, where special guest hosts like myself, Jared Martinez, Joshua Martinez, Tyson Clayton, Abe Kaufman, Tad Devant, we all come on, give our strategies, our methodologies. We talk about how the programs work, what trading opportunities are there for the week, month, or for the quarter. You're going to get access to Gary's trade copier with an active subscription. The kickoff is May 1st. The first live session is May 15th. And this is new technology for ESPN-style TV broadcasts for you folks. We have multiple co-hosts, trading styles and personalities to collaborate here. We have trackable trade results, with MyFX book and the copier. You're going to get workspaces from all of us, but the collaboration with multiple hosts using different strategies is what each and every one of you have wanted, and so we're bringing that to the table for you right now. We're going to be doing a lot of technical trading, new trading styles. There's no minimum account size to use with the trade copier. This is your one-stop shop, everybody, okay? We're going to include topics like current trade movements, the news, industry leaders, programmers, traders, bringing the best of the best to this show for all of you to benefit from. Okay? Therefore, you can stop going from program to program and focus on how to use those programs efficiently. Now, again, I also want to thank Glennis for option A. Felix, thank you for your number. Karen says option C, thank you. We also have Ron, option B. So again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, as this webinar now comes to an end, we have a limited time bonus bundle package. 3 different options. Option A, take it for a ride for 3 months and see how it works for you. We'll save you 20% off, and we'll even give you 3 months of the trade copier with Gary Fickart for free. 6 months is half a year. We'll save you 40% off, and we'll give you 6 months of the copier to match. Option C, a whole year. We'll give you 50% off, the best value, and 6 months of the trade copier as well. Type in your telephone number right now with option A or option B or option C, and we'll reach out to you here shortly to make sure we take care of any questions you may have and get you ready to go for MTI's Inner Circle. Welcome to MTI's Inner Circle, ladies and gentlemen, hosted by Gary Fickart, but there's going to be a lot of guests coming on board, and you're going to want to take advantage of being there because this is something here that everybody has wanted for a very, very long time. What do I mean exactly by that everybody has wanted this for a very long time? You got to remember this, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, we need to keep things easy to understand, easy to execute, and easy to obey. Okay? So what you, our clients, have been asking for so long is now coming to life. What do I mean by that? We have an opportunity for you to join our inner circle. Okay? One big thing here and one big value, specifically what you're going to be looking and receiving is, yes, this is a trading room. So we're going to be trading live. However, this trading room is very unique. Okay? One of the big values of this room is the collaboration between hosts and traders. Multiple traders together in our inner circle, being able to collaborate together using multiple strategies combined is something that you, our students, have been asking for forever. Okay? So make sure that if this doesn't make sense for whatever reason, you type in your number and reach out to us. But if not, type in your option. Let's get you taken care of, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations and welcome to MTI's Inner Circle Club. We'll see you at the top. I wish you all health, happiness, and success. This is Jose Tormos. This is FX MVP.